Philip George Chadwick was a British writer who is virtually forgotten these days. Born in 1893 in Batley, Yorkshire, the son of William Henry Chadwick and Martha Tattersfield, he worked as a clerk for an insurance broker, was a Fabian socialist, and a disciple of H. G. Wells. He died in 1955 in Brighton. His only work of fiction was The Death Guard, published in 1939. The novel was written as a warning against future war, derived from experiences from the First World War. In the introduction, Chadwick says that the period where the destruction of the world seemed imminent was now happily ending, this only a few months before the beginning of the Second World War. Incidentally, the original 1939 edition is extremely rare, since most of the publisher's stock was destroyed in the London Blitz. The book was not readily available until it was reissued in 1992, which must have been very irritating, since it was one of the books Karl Edward Wagner put on his list of 39 best horror novels. And it was not by far the only time one of his choices was damn near impossible to get a hold of. The novel is written as a memoir of the past by chemist Gregory Beldite. In 1919, his grandfather, Edom Beldite, gives a ride to a ragged soldier named Gobble, who has nowhere to go. He is invited to stay a day or two at the house, and ends up staying 12 years. A biological researcher before the war, Gobble is very disturbed by having been forced into the war and made to kill others. This leads to a pet project of his which soon takes over the Beldite household, the Flesh Guard, artificially grown biological humanoid killing machines, 7 feet tall and short like horses and armed with spears, without thoughts or emotions or even a brain. The very first of them is grown in the kitchen in the form of a very strange infant. The experiments become more expansive, and Gobble summons an old colleague, Professor Dax, the whole compound being removed to the Congo for the sake of the climate, where a hard set of all sorts of men are recruited and drilled as experts. Gregory is later employed at the much expanded Beldite mills, but the amount of fertilizer they are producing, from ingredients coming from Africa, is monstrous and is really a cover-up. Then there is the massacre at Oppo, where a group of the Flesh Guard massacres a whole village before slowly sauntering off. The Belgian government, which controls the Congo, demands an explanation, and the whole thing is a diplomatic mess. The directors then have 14th process experts from the Congo take over the factory. Gregory's dying grandfather then confesses how he and Gobble had created the Death Guard to make Britain so powerful none would dare to attack them. But this all only makes the other nations fear Britain more and prepare for war. Meeting Haggard, one of the experts, Gregory takes a liking to him at once. Working day and night at the factory to fulfill the order of 7,000 Flesh Guard a week, Haggard tells him of the games the experts had at the Congo, having the Guard fight and rip each other to pieces for their own amusement. The Belgian government sends a troop of soldiers to investigate the compound in the Congo, and a radio reporter follows in secret, but the whole lot of them are massacred by the Guard, ending the broadcast prematurely. The international community then demands Britain stop manufacturing flesh, while giving the secret of their creation over, for nothing in return, to an international committee. And of course Britain refuses and there's war. Nuclear bombs are dropped on Britain, the exposed Guard becoming neoblast, disfigured, many-limbed, formless lumps of flesh. Them and the Guard and a new breed of mechanical killing machines all smashing into each other and ripping themselves into pieces on the plains of Kent, as Gregory's fiancée tries to make it out alive in the company of Haggard.